Okay, Rabotai, we're here on this wonderful Monday morning. We are today studying the Orchot Tzadikim. We are in the second chapter. And here he's speaking about Anava. Anava means humility. He says, Anav usavlan. A person who's humble, he's a patient person. He has patience for other people. Ume'az savlanut yavo shalom. From patience will come peace. He says, if a person gets angry at you or upset at you, and you're a humble person, he's going to calm down very quickly. But if a person gets upset at you, and you're not a humble person, that's just going to flare up his anger even more. Like it says, Ma'aneh rach yashiv hema. A soft answer will remove hema, which is wrath. That when a person is wrathful toward a person, and the second one responds very calmly, he says that's a sigura to get rid of the wrath from the first person. Peace is a very, very great quality. A person who's humble, he has grace, he has milas. Like the pasuk writes, to the humble ones he will give grace. I told you we're going
to be here. What?
The Anav. We're learning about humility.
Oh, beautiful.
He says the first quality of humility, first manifestation, is he's patient. He's patient because he's humble. Humble people generally are more patient. They have more room for error. Yes, by other people. They're not very critical. They're not very, what's this and don't. He says, and from patience comes shalom, comes peace. He says that's number one. Number two, from anava, somebody gets angry at you and you're humble, it gets rid of their anger much quicker. Why? Because humble people, they reply softly. Yes, they don't respond in a very brazen way. The guy is saying something to you, yesterday I was somewhere, somebody made a zamichanya to the second person. Unfortunately, he struck the wrong jugular vein. And the guy who made a zamichanya to was not anav, as you want to call it. It's the opposite of anava. Gordi. And the way he responded to him, how he responded to him, and sometimes it doesn't even matter who you're talking to. It could be your mother, it could be your father, it could be a rabbi. Doesn't matter. Why? Gaftan. No sense of restraint and patience. He has to hear even a criticism. And guess what that does? It just makes more problems and more chaos in the world. He says, Ma'aneh rach, a soft tongue, a soft reply, yashiv hema, will remove wrath, will remove anger. And you have to know that peace is a great quality. Ha'anav, a person who's humble, yesh lo chen, he has grace. Shene'emar ve'le'anavim iten chen, ha'anav tfilato mikubelet lifnei HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You have a guy, he's gavtan. How do you say gavtan? He's visakamerne, as they say to me. Yeah? As they translate it. You have a guy, he's a gavtan. You have to know, his tefillah not always accepted in front of Hashem. A gavtan's tefillah is not always accepted, whereas an anav, a person who's humble, his prayer is accepted by God. Why? Because humble people are patient. And patient people are answered by God. When you're patient, God is patient with you, He acts in kind. But if a person has no room for error, he's a terrorist, God forbid. Somebody messes up right away. He starts missiling and shooting and I don't know what. No room for error by him. Person like that, he comes to pray in front of Hashem. Hashem says, oh, you big tzaddik, you. Let's open your file. Let's see what really you're about. So it all stems from Arava. Ki hu ma'avir al midotav on mojet prasit. He knows how to forgive. Uviglal zenit kablat filato shel Rabbi Akiva. Rabbi Akiva gets up. They need rain. And before him, his rabbi gets up to pray. He says, he starts to pray and Hashem doesn't answer him. Why? His rabbi was more kapdan, if we could say such a thing about the great tzaddik, the great rabbi. That's what he was. He was more makpid. Takni shidi, takni stoi, takni zele, ba, very makpid. He doesn't forego an inch, nothing, zero. He has nothing, not his neighbor parks in his driveway 1 inch oversteps his boundary, he loses his school. He's losing it, the guy. He has no room. So sometimes even Rabbanim, I personally, when we're in the Kolel, and somebody's, he's taking his time eating his meal, I'm very, I gotta work on myself to calm down, say people are people, give them a few minutes, you know what I mean? But it's like, you know what I mean? Of course you could be like that. You expect sometimes of your students to be a certain caliber, so you don't have patience.
Алексей что-то сказал, ты сказал, что все по одному слову сказали, а он готовился.
Now, he says, Rabbi Akiva gets up after Rabbi Eliezer. And guess what happens? Rabbi Akiva comes up to the podium and says, Avinu Malkenu. He says a few words, clouds came, and rain came. Everybody goes, wow, unbelievable. Rabbi Akiva is greater than Rabbi Eliezer. They said, no. Even a voice came from heaven and said, not because he's greater. Rabbi Eliezer was a gadol, he was great. Don't say he's greater than Rabbi Eliezer. Rabbi Eliezer was at least on par, at least. He was the Rabbi of Rabbi Akiva. So why did he get answered and not him? Because Rabbi Akiva knows how to forego his honor. Rabbi Akiva knows that if they don't sit in Peshkei, it's okay. Rabbi Akiva knows my neighbor dropped he blocked my driveway a little bit. Today, I won't say anything. I'll be patient. I'll be Erech Apayim. He's more patient. And because he's patient, you have to know his prayers answered. He says, Ha'anav zochel yitchakem. Humble people become wise. Why? Because he has the humility to learn from other people. A person who's gordi, sometimes you try to say a message to somebody and the guy says, he's disconnect, Mr. Disconnect. Yeah? Why? He has so much gordist, so much ga'ava that he's unable to listen even to something that's good for him. He says, but a person who's humble, he's able to listen and learn from everybody. And holechet hachamim ihkam, one who walks in the counsel of wise people, he will become wise. Let me ask you a question. You have Mr. Gavtan and Mr. Anav next to each other. They both have a problem. Who do you help first? Usually people have more mercy in their hearts for a person who's Anav, who's humble. When a humble person needs help, you want to do for him, you want to help him, you want to write him a check, you're there for him. He's humble. Whereas a Gavtan, like this guy, only in front of him they give him respect, but behind his back, nobody likes Gavtanim, nobody likes Gordi Luzi. Yes? It says Gordi people, haughty people, Kol man diyahir, any person who has yuhara, afilu incha debete, even the people of your household don't like you. That's what they always say. Go ask his wife what she thinks of him. Why? Because she knows who her husband is. She knows if he's humble, and she knows if he is gordi. But Rabotai, I must make a disclaimer. When you come home, humility is important, but at home you're a father, at home you're a leader. What that means is you gotta have a certain amount of confidence also. You cannot be too much trapka. Why? Because eventually people, they don't appreciate and they don't relate to too much. How do you say? To being like a rag, God forbid. Person has to have his kavod, his dignity also, obviously. To have his self-confidence, obviously. But bad bevad together, never to chas v'shalom, to deal with gavhut aleim, with haughtiness of the heart. It says that a humble person, he acknowledges his mistakes. Gordi people will never acknowledge a mistake. You give criticism to a Gordi person,
So how do I get fixed up?
he will argue with you for 6 months. Why? Because he's Gordi.
It's impossible. You know what happens?
You show my gorgeous.